Hello and welcome back to the Satoshi Society YouTube channel. My name is AJ, one of the co-hosts here, and today we are going to take a look at the technical analysis side of Bitcoin. And I'm sure you're all aware that we did in fact get a 25 basis point rate hike yesterday, which has had a slight positive effect within the market. We can see that Bitcoin has had a slight push towards the upside. However, is this pump going to be sustained? Is this pump going to continue, or are we going to see a pullback from here? I'm going to talk about what I think is going to happen from here, but it's really, really good that we're having this experience of this 25 basis point rate hike because as I said yesterday, it's going to give us an understanding for the rest of the year on how the market is going to be affected because of these FOMC meetings. And what we can see so far is that people are taking this as a positive thing initially, okay, but we need to understand whether they continue to think this is a positive thing, or are they going to slowly realize that this isn't the best thing because the Fed are still initially increasing the rates, and then are we going to see the price pull back from here? So this is what we need to sort of wait and see what happens because we've had this pump. I told you yesterday I was leaning to more towards the storyline of the price pumping, okay, but then initially I would expect to dump after, because initially this still isn't a very good thing that the Fed are increasing the rates. Yes, it's good that they're increasing by a decreased amount, but it's still not good that they are increasing. So for me, I was leaning more towards the way that we're going to pump and then a dump was going to come after, which is still possible. However, I also said if it wasn't going to do that, it was most likely just going to continue to dump. I would not expect continue to pump. I would not expect just a dump from this. Okay, I would expect a pump then a dump, because initially, yes, it's good, but in the longer term, I don't see it as a good thing. So I would still expect a pullback. However, I'm going to talk about the levels that if we break, we could continue towards the upside. So if that all sounds interesting, then please make sure you smash a like on this video, and we'll jump straight on into the video. I can see that Kryptonite wants to take a look at XRP, so I will take a quick look at XRP as well after the Bitcoin TA. But smash a like on this video, and we'll jump straight on into the Bitcoin TA. So taking a look at Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin on the 3-hour chart. And what I'm looking at here is a potential, a short opportunity that I sort of missed. Reason being, I was asleep. I tried to get an early night last night, and I did miss a potential shorting opportunity right here, which I would have brought to you as well. But it was very, very late. This was, past midnight when the shorting opportunity came about. But what I was looking at, we're seeing the price actually pull back from here. But what I was looking at is, a strong level of resistance coming in sort of between 23,964 and around $24,200 approximately. Okay, so for me, there is a strong level of resistance coming here, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, so first of all, if you've been following the channel, you know that we've been in this ascending parallel channel right here. We've been trading within this channel for a while, and we've been respecting it very, very well. Sometimes even to the dollar, bouncing or getting a rejection literally to the dollar from this level. So this is what we need to focus on right now, this ascending parallel channel. And, there's other bits of confluence that is coming in. Okay, so before I show you what I would have shorted and what I think would have been a good shorting opportunity, I want to show you why I think this. Okay, and the reason and how I'm going to show you is by showing you what happened previously. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now is this previous high right here. So this is the previous high that we made of this sort of sideways consolidation phase that we are in right now. Okay, as you can see, that is going to be a resistance level, and as you can see, it acted as resistance right here. Okay, you can see that the price found resistance at this level here, and we saw a pullback. Okay, that was coming in confluence with this resistance at the top of the ascending parallel channel. Okay, so there was one bit of confluence. Okay, then bringing up for a third bit of confluence. You know that I like to look for 3 bits of confluence. The third bit of confluence I was looking at here is, okay, we're forming higher highs on the price action charts, but then on the RSI, we're forming lower lows here. Okay, this is a strategy that I like to look for. I like to use the RSI. The RSI is a really, really good indicator to help us understand where the market is most likely going to go. And I love shorting resistance levels. Okay, breaks of resistance are always good, but you have to make sure that they hold that previous resistance as support. But shorting resistances is just one of my favorite things to do. And vice versa with supports. Longing supports is one of my favorite things to do. So this is sort of why I would have entered a short position here. Unfortunately, I was coming back off holiday here as well, so unfortunately I missed that trade as well. Which isn't very good of me, but we're back to normal now. I'm going to be on this. I'm going to be on the grind now. Grinding these trades out, getting these trades out for you as well, making sure that I don't miss them. So I can't let you miss them as well. But that's what the previous trade was looking like, and this is exactly the same setup that I saw this time. Okay, so this is exactly the same sort of setup. So what I saw was the previous high right here. Okay, so we made another high right here. So this was going to act as resistance. We could be looking for a swing failure pattern. Which, as you can see, happened right here. Okay, we got this swing failure pattern. Price tried to get above this previous high here. Okay, however, there wasn't enough momentum to keep that price going, so the price rolled over, and we are now seeing the price pull back, and there is a bit of volume coming in. We're seeing a bit of a fluctuation right now. Price looks like it wants to move lower. Another reason, we were testing this resistance at the top of the ascending parallel channel. That is another signal for me to actually enter a short position here. And then to add on to that as well, we're still forming these bearish divergences. Okay, we're forming higher highs on the price action charts, but lower lows on the RSI. Okay, so this was a really, really nice setup for a short position, and I would have entered this short position if I hadn't have been asleep. This came in at sort of 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'd long gone to bed by then. So unfortunately, we couldn't make this trade. But this would have been a really, really nice short position from here. And where would I expect the price to be going from here? Well, I would be expecting the price to actually pull back and come and test the support down here at around 22,000, 23,000, let's say approximately. Okay, around $23,000. Okay, and that would have been a really, really nice trade. If we whacked a bit of leverage on there as well, that would have increased our profit as well. Of course, and I cannot sort of say that leverage is a good thing, because it is a really, really helpful tool, but it can be very risky at times. So make sure you are careful. But if you do want to trade with us, make sure you use those links in the description. We've got links with Bybit and FEMX as well, and you can get up to 3,000 or almost 4,000, dollars in sign-up bonuses. So make sure you take advantage of that as well. But what we're looking at right now is a price, like I said, having that pullback. We've come into a strong cluster of resistance here, having that pullback, expecting the price to come to around 22,900 and sort of $50 to $80 around this support level here. Maybe just 23,000, we'll call it as an approximate level. But where are we right now? Where are we this second? Right now, we are testing the mid-range of this ascending parallel channel. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you will know that I like to preach this. The mid-range for these parallel channels do tend to act as support and resistances. Okay, we can see it slightly here. It's not the best example because it's not been respected completely. We've had a slight deviation right here where we got a break above it, and then we came back below and then continue to use it as resistance. But initially, mid ranges of the middle of the range does tend to act as support and resistance. Okay, so we could use this as support. We could have a bounce towards the upside, and if we can break above this previous high right here, then yes, we could continue towards the upside. Maybe even break above this high here. If we don't see a swing failure from this high right here, we could continue higher, breaking towards the upside of this ascending parallel channel, and we can come up to that next level of the next level that I have marked out, $25,211. Okay, and that's what I would expect the price to come to if we were to break above this high that we made here and the resistance at the ascending parallel channel. That's where I'd expect the price to come to next. Then from there, we can talk about the price either getting rejected or the price breaking above that, using it as support, and then continuing towards the upside. But as of right now, it looks like the price wants to use this mid-range as slight support. However, for me, looking at this, I still expect the price to pull back to the bottom of this ascending parallel channel, where from there we can look for a potential long position to maybe ride that back up to the top. However, if this breaks, then we would be looking at maybe shorting, depending on what the market was telling me, or just sitting on the sidelines waiting for another trade entry. We could even retest it. We could enter here, strong confluence for a short here, and then we short that down to that $21,468 level. We'll have to see. Another option is the price comes down, bounces off this level, and continues within this range. But right now, I am expecting this price to pull back down to sort of 23,000. And then from there, we can reevaluate, are we going to bounce off of that support, or are we going to move much lower? Looking at this RSI, still in that sort of overextended territory. I still think a pullback is necessary, coming on the daily as well. Looking at the daily, we have this massive bearish divergence forming. And for me, we are in that very overextended territory right here on the RSI. So for me, it looks as though a pullback could be coming. Higher highs on the price action, lower lows on the RSI, textbook bearish divergence. It looks as though the price does want to have that pullback, and I feel like it does need to have that pullback, even if we are to continue this bullish momentum towards the upside. Okay, if we're going to continue this rally towards the upside, it does initially need to have a slight pullback before it continues even higher. But we just have to be aware as well. Is this just another bear market rally, or is this the real deal? Okay, is this the bull market once again starting? And I'm still I'm still very skeptical about this. And I know a lot of people are getting very bullish now. Okay, and yes, you could be getting very, very bullish right now, and yes, you could be right at the same time. But for me, looking at the fundamentals, I mentioned this multiple times, okay? 2-year has exceeded the 10-year yield, okay? I'll cover it quickly because I talk about it all the time. The 2-year is at 4.098%, and the 10-year is at 3.387%, okay? So the 2-year has exceeded the 10-year yield every time this has happened, okay? This is a chart that shows us every time it's happened previously. When the 2-year has exceeded the 10-year, okay, the orange line here goes below this black line, okay, so into the minuses. And every time this has happened, it's led us into a recession, okay? This is outdated. This is from 2018, but we can see from the current charts that the 10-year is 3.387% and the 2-year is 4.098%. Okay, so the 2-year has exceeded the 10-year, meaning that a recession is highly likely. If we're going into a recession, we're going to have another leg towards the downside within the traditional markets, which is obviously going to feed into the crypto market, because the crypto market is very correlated to the traditional markets. And what are the traditional markets looking at right now? Well, they are looking very good. Okay, looking at the ES, which is pretty much the S&P 500, it is the S&P 500 E-mini futures. Okay, it's broken above a downwards trending trend line here. Okay, this white downwards trending trend line is broken above this level, which it hasn't been above in over a year. Okay, it hasn't been above this throughout the whole of 2022. Okay, and then sort of the first bit of 2023. It didn't get above this level. It was continuously getting rejected, and then finally on the 23rd of January, it broke above. Okay, we can have a look here. It finally broke above right here, retested it as support, and bounced and continued towards the upside. That's great. Okay, and then we had a local resistance here. However, that was broken. Okay, and now we're at a major resistance level right now. Okay, as you can see, we're testing this major level, right? This is that sort of crucial level. If we can break above this, then yes, with Bitcoin, we can talk about 30K, okay? Because if we break this, Bitcoin is most likely going to break 25K, okay? And then we can start talking about 30K. However, we've got to remember, this is a major resistance level, okay? We've used it as major resistance here. Strong rejection right there, okay? Right here as well. Strong rejection from this level right here, okay? Slight deviation here, okay? But we've come back in, we've respected it, okay? Resistance, rejection, and we've had a major pullback. Okay, resistance before the breakup, resistance here, major rejection right there. And then previously, you can see here, we've used it as nice support as well. And then coming all the way back here, resistance and a bit of support there as well. So this is that next major level that we need to get above within the traditional markets to, be assured that Bitcoin is going to continue higher and Bitcoin is going to go to 30K, which, we all want. We all want to see that, but we just have to take a step back and look at everything else. Okay, US is looking likely that it wants to go that it's going into a recession. Not that it wants to, but it's looking likely that it's going into a recession. The Fed is still increasing those rates. If the Fed is still increasing the rates, that's not good. Yes, they're increasing by a decreased amount, but it's still not good. Okay, we're at these major levels now on the technicals. Okay, if we can break above them, great. Okay, we need to then use them as support, bounce and get that momentum going. Okay, get that momentum going to start this bull market again. However, we're at major levels. Okay, we're at major resistance levels. If we're going to get rejected from here, we could see another leg towards the downside. Looking at the fundamentals, that could be a catalyst to help that price pull back. So we've got to be very, very aware here. I've showed this for the past 2 days now, but we're looking very similar to this psychology of a market cycle. Okay, the Wall Street cheat sheet. Okay, and what we're looking at right now is we're looking at this anger phase. For me, this is where I'd say we were. Okay, we could be in this depression phase. We could have been in this depression phase, and we're leaving this depression phase, coming into this disbelief phase. Yes, that's a possibility. But what I'm looking at right now is that Bitcoin is looking very similar to this anger phase, meaning that we're leaving this anger phase right now, because looking right here, you can see that we've come down. We formed this low right here. Then we formed a high right here. Then we've come down and we formed a lower low right here. And right now, it looks as though we could potentially, okay, it's not confirmed yet, but we could potentially form a lower high. If that is the case, we're looking identical to this anger phase here, okay? Low, high, lower low, lower high right here. And then we slowly lead into this depression phase, okay? And that, as you can see here, this is when the price forms another low prior to, another low lower than this low right here, okay? So we could be looking at the price of Bitcoin not actually having that bottom of the bear market yet. We could still see another low for Bitcoin, whether that be 14,000, whether that be 12,000, whether that be 10,000, okay? For me, it's still not off the table, okay? We still just have to be very aware. I don't want to be bearish, but I just want to be a realist, okay? We have to look at everything. We have to take a step back and not get too tunnel visioned in on this pump, okay? Because we've had pumps like this before. Okay, we've had these bear market pumps before. They've got people really excited, and I've told you previously not to get too excited, because there are still indicators telling us that the price is going to pull back, and that's exactly what happened. Now, of course, if this were to be another pullback, I would expect this to be the last pullback. Okay, I'm not going to continue saying. When the price goes up, I'm not going to continue saying that that we need to be cautious. The price could go lower. I think there is going to be a bottom, but I think the bottom, could still be around 14 to 10,000. Okay, I still think that's a possibility. Of course, I could be wrong. We could be, and this is why this stage is called the disbelief stage. Okay, this is why it's called disbelief, because everyone is in disbelief when we are in this phase. Okay, so there is a possibility that we could be within this bull market, or starting this bull market, but just taking a step back and looking at everything, looking at the bigger picture, recession, because of the 2-year has exceeded the 10-year yield, Fed still increasing rates, it's just all stuff that we don't really want to hear. It's all stuff that isn't good for the markets. So we've got to be very, very aware of that. And then looking at the technicals as well, they're looking very similar to such as very similar to other things, such as this right here, the Wall Street cheat sheet, and then looking at RSIs. We've got bearish divergences all over the place, especially on the daily as well. This isn't good. What's the weekly looking like? Anything happen on the weekly? Yeah. Okay. So we've got right here on the weekly as well, more of a hidden bearish divergence. Okay. What we can see, or let's get rid of this. We can see price action towards the downside, potentially forming a lower low here. Of course, we have 3 days and 9 hours left, so it's not confirmed. But then on the RSI, we're forming higher highs right here. Okay. This is just another textbook hidden bearish divergence. And, we've got to be careful. Looking at this, we had a bullish divergence here, lower lows here. Okay. Higher highs on the RSI. Great. Okay. The price started to push towards the upside. Great. Okay. But now, if we can't get above this previous high at 24,338, if we cannot get a candle break above this level right here, which I will mark on the screen for us right now. Let's get the magnets all out. If we cannot break above this, get a candle break above this level, then, this is not going to be good, because we're still going to have this hidden bearish divergence, and that could lead to a catastrophic pullback. So we just got to be aware of these indications right here. There's still a high possibility that we could have this pullback, but, on the brighter side, we are having really nice pumps towards the upside. We just got to be aware that a pullback for me is necessary. Whether that be a big pullback that leads into a much bigger pullback, we don't know yet. We'll have to see when it comes to that. Right now, I just want to focus on this ascending parallel channel. For me, I'm expecting the price to come down to just below 23,000, and from there we can reevaluate. Are we getting any bullish signs? If we are, then we could take a long up to the resistance here. However, if we're not getting any bullish signs, okay, we could be looking at something bearish happening, as in the price breaks below the parallel channel, and then we move much lower. The next level that I would be looking at is $21,468. That's the next level that I would be looking at the price coming to if we broke towards the downside, because as you can see here, major resistance, okay, coming all the way back here as well, major resistance here as well. So it's a very well respected level, and if we do break this support here, then I would expect the price to come down there. But for now, I'm expecting the price to come down to approximately $23,000. From there, we'll reevaluate. If it bounces off there, then we could actually see the price come up to $24,000, over $24,500. If that is the case, okay, coming here, we could break above 24,322, get a candle break above that. If we do that, it's going to invalidate that hidden bearish divergence on the weekly chart. That would be a very, very bullish thing. Okay, so there's loads of things that we need to factor in. Okay, if we break levels, then we can be happy that this bull market is finally starting. However, if we cannot do that, then we're looking at the price coming much lower, potentially forming a new low within this bear market as well. So we just got to be very, very aware right now. We're at this critical stage in my eyes that, if we break these levels, off we go, bull market has started, okay? But if we cannot get above these levels, then, oh dear, we're going lower, which is fine. We can continue to accumulate these lower prices, and then, we can start the bull market later on, okay? But we've got to be cautious. Recession, 2-year has exceeded the 10-year yield. Fed still increasing rates. Not the best thing, not what we want to hear, not what we want to hear, not what the market wants to hear. The market wants to hear good things, not bad things, okay? If we're continuing to hear bad, very, very aware of that. I wanted to, I'll have a look at XRP. I know we wanted to have a quick look at XRP. I just want to cover Ethereum quickly, because I did notice that Ethereum was actually breaking a level. Where was I looking at it? Oh, was it a daily? What's going on here? Is this the right chart? Why does that look a bit? That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. Is that the right chart? I think that is the right chart. For some reason, my line's gone wonky. What's happened there? Okay, that must be the right chart here. Okay, but what we're looking at here is Ethereum is actually, let's just straighten out this line for us. Makes it a bit better. There we go. So what we're looking at for Ethereum is testing this resistance once again, okay? Same with Bitcoin. If we can break above this level, that's going to be great for Ethereum. Okay, this is a strong level of resistance. We've used it as really strong resistance over the course of January. If we can get above it, great. Okay, we can use it as support. We can continue higher. Okay, but right now, we're coming into a resistance on Ethereum, and looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks as though it wants to come down for me. Okay, for me, it looks like Bitcoin wants to come down to 23,000. If that's the case, we're most likely going to see Ethereum get rejected from this level, and then the next major level that I would be looking at the price coming to is approximately $1,351. That's where I'd expect the price to pull back to. So we just got to be very, very cautious looking at the smaller time frames for Ethereum. Let's have a look. We're coming to test these highs of this smaller range that we're looking at on the 4-hour chart. Let's bring up this range right here, extend that over here. We're coming to the value area. Well, we're in the value area high right now. Any divergences forming? We're forming divergences as well. So it's looking like Ethereum potentially wants to have a pullback here, coming down, potentially to $1,537 approximately. We're forming higher highs right here, very slight higher highs, but initially higher highs, and then lower lows on this RSI here. So textbook bearish divergence there. So if Bitcoin's going to continue this push towards the downside that I'm expecting it to, then we're most likely going to see this follow. We're most likely going to see Ethereum follow that as well. So we've got to be aware of that. But moving on quickly, let's have a look at XRP. I know that Kryptonite wanted to have a quick look at XRP. Let's have a look at XRP. So looking at XRP, I haven't done some TA on this in a fair while, but we'll see what we've got. Okay, so we do have this, looking at the 4-hour, we do have this descending parallel channel right here. And as you can see, we tested the resistance right here, and still testing that resistance. Okay, there's still a possibility we could push towards the upside. Now, you could take 2 price targets from this, to be fair, if it broke towards the upside. Okay, you could take the more conservative target, where you just take the parallel channel. So taking this here from the support to the resistance, could take that to the potential breakout point. This could bring us up to close to 0.46. It would bring us to 0.454, which would be nice. But then if we took it as a bull flag, we could take this as a bull flag, taking it from the bottom of the flagpole to the top of the flagpole to the potential breakout point. This could take us to 0.489, so almost 0.49, which would be nice. Now, for me, Bitcoin, of course, has had its rally. Okay, Ethereum has had a rally as well. Some of the altcoins have had their rally, but if we're having a look at XRP, to be honest with you, XRP hasn't really rallied for me. So this is something to be cautious about as well. Is XRP really going to do as well as it did previously in previous bull markets? We're not seeing it rally as well as other altcoins. We're not seeing it rally, like Bitcoin has rallied. Okay, yes, maybe percentage wise it has, but compared to how it would previously, it's not had a major move. We're trading within this massive range here on this daily chart here. You can see in this massive fixed range, value area high, down to value area low, most likely up to value area high. So there's a high chance that we could come up to value area high at 0.444. So it is looking good for XRP if and only if we get above this resistance level here on the 4-hour. If we can't, then we're most likely going to come back down to approximately 0.377. Coming down to the support at the bottom of this descending parallel channel. So just got to be aware there. Was there any longing opportunities down there? Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. Doesn't look as though. No, it doesn't look as though there were any, so there's nothing that we missed there. But yeah, for me, if we can break above this, then great. If we can break above this resistance here, great. Okay, and Bitcoin can break above its resistance as well, then great. We can continue higher. But right now, it is struggling to get above this, as you can see right here, just slowly churning away sideways. We want to see a nice move towards the upside with nice volume. If we cannot get that, then we are most likely going to see XRP pull back you know, and I would expect it to follow Bitcoin. Okay, so if Bitcoin's going to have that pullback, slight pullback that I'm expecting down to 23,000, then, you know, XRP is most likely going to follow that as well. Quickly look at the ES, as well. I've covered this quick, but let's have a look again. You know, we are going to use this as very strong resistance. So this is something that we need to keep an eye on. And of course, I'm going to keep you updated with this. If we're getting a rejection from this level, I will update you. If we're breaking above this level, I will update you as well. Let's take a quick look at the DXY. The DXY is, I did have a look at this morning at the DXY. And yeah, the DXY looks like good. You know, DXY is good, but bad is what's happening here. Okay, so you know, it looks as though yesterday we did actually break towards the downside of this major support. Okay, we broke the previous low right here. However, okay, it depends how you want to draw this. Okay, it does depend how you want to draw this support level right here. Okay, just focusing on this right here. What I've done is I've just drawn it from this low here, but we have to realize that there is a level of resistance as well. So let's put this level of resistance in as well. We do have a level of resistance coming in right here. So before the break towards the upside, the DXY tested this level right here, okay? And then it broke towards the upside, had a slight wick test of it right here, and then continued higher, came close to it here. So we could be looking at, you know, the support being between this white line. As you can see, you know, it's tested it perfectly. You know, it's had a trading views having a bit of a funny moment right here. I'm sure it'll sort itself out. But as you can see with this candle, it's tested it perfectly, this white previous resistance as support. And today it is having a bounce towards the upside. So, you know, we could have actually drawn this wrong, and maybe we should have drawn it like this, where, you know, potentially it hasn't even broken towards the downside. It hasn't actually broken towards the downside of the support yet. We've got to be aware of that. But this is a key level that we're at right now. This white level as well, this white horizontal level, 101 is a very key level. If we can break below this, this is very, very good for the traditional market in crypto. You know, we want the DXY to go down because the traditional markets, Bitcoin and the DXY, inversely correlated. Okay, so the traditional market and Bitcoin are together, they're correlated, and then the DXY is on the other side. Okay, and that's inversely correlated. Whenever we see the DXY go up, we see Bitcoin and the traditional markets go down. When we see the DXY go down, we see Bitcoin and the traditional markets go up. Okay, so we want to see this go down. But if it's going to hold this support here, yeah, if it's going to hold this support and bounce and come higher, this is really, sorry, talking too much here. It's really not good for the markets. Okay, so we want to see this broke. Okay, we want to see this break. We want to see this horizontal level get broken towards the downside. Okay, we want to see it break towards the downside, and then we can see these major moves. But right now, I'm not happy that it's broken. Okay, just looking at this here, you know, maybe we charted this support level wrong. Okay, looking at this previous resistance here, this is a level to be looking out for. Then there's a support here, so maybe this was the support that we should have been looking at. But yeah, if we break this, great. If we bounce off this, it's not going to be good, and we could see another leg down for Bitcoin. Link TA, JK videos. I'll have a look at Link TA as well. Crystal, hey AJ, sorry if you've already talked about it, but are you expecting a pullback in the next day or two after yesterday's pump? Okay, so I have talked about it, but yeah, you know, I'm expecting a small pullback, and just you know, solely basing it off this TA here. You know, we've hit a previous high right here. Okay, we're coming into that. We've tested that previous high and we've got rejected from it, a slight rejection from it. Okay, we've got rejected from the high up here. Okay, the resistance up here, and then we're also forming bearish divergences on the RSI. So locally, yes, I'm expecting a pullback, potentially down to 23,000. Okay, from there we have to reevaluate. Okay, are we going to break this towards the downside, move lower, or are we going to bounce? And are we going to bounce back up to the resistance at the top of the ascending parallel channel? Okay, so right now I'm expecting the price to pull back to 23,000, and then from there I will come live and I will reevaluate, and we can have a look at what the market is telling us. Is it telling us that we should long up here, or is it telling us that the price is going to break down and is going to come down here? Okay, so that's what I'm looking at now. Price coming down to 23,000. That's what I would expect the price to be doing. But yeah, looking at Link quick. Let's have a quick look at Link before anything else. Duh, 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 duh. So, what would you recommend investing at the moment? Of course, I can't give you financial advice. Wait for a slight pullback or wait and potentially miss it. Yeah, of course, I cannot give financial advice, but it all depends on you personally. For me, I've still got a lot of cash on the side. Since all the way down to 15,000. I was dollar cost averaging into positions. Okay. But I also always had cash on the side just in case we're going down to 14,000, in case we're going down to 12,000, 10,000. Okay. I've always got that cash on the side, but I've been dollar cost averaging down, and that's what works for me. That's what works for a lot of people as well. So, it all depends on you. I cannot give financial advice, but, dollar cost averaging is probably the best thing to do. BNB, I can have a look at BNB as well. Top of Bitcoin before pullback. Top of Bitcoin before pullback. Do you mean, top of this pump before the pullback? Because that could be either. If we're gonna have a pullback, I would expect it to be along this trend line here. That could be. Well, to be honest with you, if we broke above, let's have a look. Where's that? It was on this one here. If we've got a candle break above 24,314, for me, I'd sort of be happy that the price is most likely going to 25 and then potentially even 30,000 as well if it broke this major resistance right here. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. We have to reevaluate once we've had this little pullback here. And oh my God, what has happened here? What has happened here? Okay. I have no clue what has happened there. Why has that just happened? Oh dear. Right, that's going to take a while to get rid of, so I will do that another day. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at Link quick, and then we can have a quick look at BNB. Link, I haven't actually looked at Link in a while either. So let's have a look. Let's have a look here. Right, again, okay, let's have a look. Have we got some sort of parallel channel coming in here? Let's draw this in. Where do we put this from? Here. Yeah, so we've got some sort of parallel channel coming in here. We can see, we bounced off the support here. We are bouncing higher. Bullish divergence. Yes, we've had a bullish divergence. Previous low was not hit, not as much confluence as I would like to see, depending on if you're taking it from the wick or the candle body. But yeah, looking at Link right now, for me, looking at it on a technical basis, I would expect it to come and maybe test this $7.7 level right here. Maybe come up a little bit higher, but again, mid-range. Okay, this is a perfect example right here. Major support along this mid-range, resistance. Okay, support, resistance right here, and now you can see that we're testing that as support. Okay, so if we stay above this mid-range here, then I'll expect Link to come higher. And if it did come higher, then there's a possibility it could get rejected from here, or it could break above here. However, if it broke below this mid-range, I would expect it to come back down to the support here, where again, we could be looking at the price bouncing off here, or we could see the price breaking towards the downside. And if it did break towards the downside, I would expect it to come to around $6 if it were to break towards the downside. That's sort of that next major level that I have marked on the screen right here. So yeah, that's what I would be looking at for Link. Maybe another push towards the upside. If not, we're going to have a pullback from there. Quickly moving on to BNB. Let's have a look at BNB. It looks like everything is sort of forming these parallel channels right now. So let's see if we can draw in a parallel channel right here, an ascending parallel channel. Make sure I select it. Bush. Take it from here. Let's have a look. Not respected as well as the likes of Bitcoin and Link. But again, looking at BNB, potential shorting opportunity here if there is confluence. Right now I could probably only, I can only see 2 bits of confluence. I tend to like to look for 3 bits of confluence, but you can short with 2 bits of confluence as well. But here, we're seeing higher highs on the price action chart coming into resistance, as in the resistance at the top of the parallel channel. And then looking at the RSI, we're forming lower lows as you can see right there. So very bearish. RSI, again, overextended. So yeah, sort of 2.5, I would say, bits of confluence telling me that this is probably a good shorting opportunity. Potentially shorting that down to $300 could be a viable option. But again, that invalidation would be if it were to break above this here. If it were to break above the resistance, then we could see the price move much higher. So we've got to be cautious of that as well. Where could the price go if it broke towards the upside? Well, let's take the intended target, which would be 170 approximately. Okay, so if we broke towards the upside, we could see the price rally up to 170. However, there is signs telling me that the price is most likely going to pull back potentially to this mid-range, which could be a profit taking point. Then if it broke that, we could take profit at the support down here, and from there, that's where you can look for a potential long position, or keep that short position open, and maybe the price is going to break towards the downside, but you have to reevaluate once the price does get down there as well. So right now, for me, the BNB is looking more likely that we're going to see a pullback down here, and then from there it would have to be a real reevaluation period where you reevaluate, is the price going to bounce from here, or is the price going to dump from here? But right now I'd expect the price to pull back to this support here for BNB. So I think I'm going to end it there. 40 minutes I've been live, so I'm going to end it there and take my dog on a walk. So if you enjoyed this, please make sure you smash a like on this video, and if there's anything to update you with, of course I will come live and update you with that. But right now, I am just still expecting that pullback to happen back down to the support down here. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow for the next live. Please make sure you smash a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn that bell notification on so you never miss a live stream. And I will see you in the next live stream. Thank you very much, guys. See you later.